Welcome to This Week in AT. This Week in AT, August 18th, 2025. Promoting the profession. What works, what doesn't, and how can we support each other? Athletic training has an interesting relationship with how to market the profession, to say the least. Seemingly, on an annual basis, the discussion comes up about if we should change the name to athletic therapist, drop the athletic, or another combination to try and better describe the profession we work in. This discussion leads to the next one. Why aren't we able to better promote and market the profession under its current name and avoid a name change? There doesn't seem to be a good answer to either of these. What about AT to promote? Athletic trainers are trained across a wide variety of skills. We highlight the emergency preparation aspect of our job with emergency action plans, rehearsing proper execution of CPR AED, and the care of exertional heat illness, among other emergency protocols. Beyond that, we move into the, quote, traditional aspects of athletic training, taping ankles, and sideline preparation, aka hydration engineers. Furthermore, the treatment and rehabilitation of injuries facilitate the return to play process for patient and student athletes. All of these aspects of athletic training are important. They are the profession. Based on the setting, they can vary wildly in terms of which skills are utilized the most. Do any of these skills highlight the profession more than the other? I think this leads to the larger question. Which of these are the most important to highlight and bring the most positive exposure to the profession? Is all exposure good exposure? Social media unlocks an almost infinite number of ways to communicate with the world. This also plays into the promotion of athletic training. I am personally not a great content creator on many platforms, and I'm minimal on the others. There are a lot of athletic trainers who have found a way to highlight the profession and reach a significant amount of followers on their respective platforms. Kudos. As referenced above, this discussion took off on AT Twitter with the significant reach of all these accounts. Is all that exposure, quote, good exposure? The exposure is argued that, quote, any exposure of the profession is, of course, good exposure. I'm not arguing that point specifically, but I do question if the exposure of things that are part of the profession but don't demonstrate our highest value is having the impact we would like it to. Often, especially on AT Twitter and AT Facebook groups, there are large discussions that get a lot of interactions and discuss issues that potentially concern external stakeholders, yet those stakeholders aren't involved. Are we truly making change and taking the avenues that are necessary to create it? Or are we just yelling into the void of social media without actually addressing the problem? Showing the world what we do and why we are essential is necessary, and I'm glad people have found creative ways to do it. An evolution to the next step of getting that exposure to the key stakeholders that can help drive us forward and create a larger and stronger profession is key. Not so hot take. The athletic training profession has struggled with its identity and has continued to evolve into new settings and gone beyond the, quote, traditional setting. We continue that struggle as we want people outside the profession to recognize us as medical providers. Positive exposure to the profession is the ultimate goal, but we struggle as a profession to support each other in that exposure. I believe this goes beyond TikTok and social media likes and followers. A lot of us scream into the void about every athlete needing an AT, or that there should be an AED everywhere, and insert other initiatives here. Do we actually put our money where our mouth is, though? As an example, and I promise this is not a quote, woe is me, but through Clinically Presco, we find fundraising opportunities through any means possible to donate cold tubs to high schools around the country. Several years in, and we've had 4 athletic trainers contribute to the purchase of 27 cold tubs. There were several others that donated to another initiative, and we want to thank those too, just so we don't exclude anything. Again, this is not a cry for donations, but when there's a positive change trying to be made in the profession, the support doesn't always seem to follow. I think it would be a strong statement from those in the profession if it got traction to show that we support everyone in the profession, but we focus on social media likes. As I mentioned at the beginning, any positive attention to the profession is good attention. If we want to continue to evolve the profession and the attention to it, we have to support all the positive aspects. Taping ankles, if the research truly backs it, to the skills we possess as rehab clinicians, to trying to prevent death by exertional illness. Don't hide a desire for fame and recognition behind, quote, bringing attention to the profession. It's okay to want to be an influencer, but also back up what you're doing to truly move the profession and those we serve forward. This Week in AT. Tune in next week to get the happenings in AT with This Week in AT.